Welcome to Sports Life Talk.
Hey,
Cause this is Sports Life Talk.
hey,
You rock it with Sports Life Talk.
Life Talk.
Hot topics
Yeah.
with Sports Life Talk.
Come on.
So come and get you some Sports Life Talk.
Life.
They let us in the game, now we calling the shots. Things will never be the same, so
Yeah.
forget what you thought. Cause
Yeah.
life without sports ain't nothing but talk. Here we go now, finally a show that makes your heart pound. Profound, wonder what's running up through your thoughts now. About to drown our podcast, that be watered down. Tell them clowns it's a new era, and it's starting now. Five total strangers, the 5 Power Rangers, approaching Sports Life Talk from 5 different angles. Get ready for the change up. We done turned the flame up. The topics that we bring up, we about to blow this thing up. Yeah, let's get it cracking. KT the head coach of Miss Manhattan. Gemini Jones hold the throne, she be calling them out. Mr. United Surgeon B. Jones, the mouth of the South. From the cover athlete to the year of the week, we got what you need. We dropping what's hot in the streets, from copping new sneaks to locals popping, doing big things. From gossip and tea, let Kimberly pour you a dream. Sports Life Talk, who is them? Went from not listening and now you're tuning in. If you're feeling what you're hearing, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thank you for listening, let the show begin. Sports Life Talk, who is them? Went from not listening and now you're tuning in. If you're feeling what you're hearing, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thank you for listening, now let the show begin.
Let's go. Let's give a round of applause for the dopest podcast. Sports Life Talk. Turn it up. Tell a friend, tell a friend. The revolution has begun, and it will be televised. Let's go.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Sports Life Talk, where life without sports is just talk. Today, we got the intellectual surgeon, Mr. United Surge.
What's good?
We got the mouth of the South, getting it to you Cajun style, B. Jones. He's taking it to another level. Like I said, I can never get used to that. I'm the strong safety / head coach, KT. Make sure you like and follow us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at Sports Life Talk. You can watch our live stream show on Sports Life Talk Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. Today, y'all, we have a special guest. Everybody give some love to Jordan Jones of Gamebreaksports.
Hey Kevin, that's why we got to get the sound effects brought in, man. Because we needed that roar of the crowd.
Or you could have just clapped louder too. All right, so we're gonna jump right into this, Jordan. The way we initiate people into the SLT family is you got to give us your top 5 hip hop artists, man.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this since y'all sent this over to me. So one, I'm not a huge hip hop guy. I'm just gonna throw that out there, but I got to do it based on what I've listened to since I've been alive. I'm only 26, so I can tell you.
Yeah, you're a young bug.
Yeah. So I like guys like, in no particular order, J. Cole. I like Kendrick Lamar, Chance the Rapper, Eminem. I liked him when I was really young. Still kind of like him, and then I still have to put Wayne on there because, like, the Carter 3, I used to listen to that all the time. So, like, literally every day, all day when that came out. So that would probably be my top 5.
You know what, Jordan? I can respect you at a high level because this hating dude next to me, he don't want to give nothing from Louisiana props, man.
Wow.
We'll probably get into it before the end of this little 30-minute show. But I'll tell you what.
Serge, now hold up, no, you're not just gonna put me on blast like that with that lie. I don't hate everything about Louisiana. I just hate the stuff that you like that's in Louisiana. That's all.
I know you'll give my Tigers props. I know you'll give
I gave your Tigers props. Man, I even wore a Saints jersey when y'all beat us, so stop it.
All right. That's true. But you know what's really crazy, Serge? How come it is that no matter who we get on there, somebody drops a new artist in the top 5? I mean, the streak is still alive, right? Because I think that's the first time we've heard Chance the Rapper, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has ever said Chance in their top 5. So kudos to you.
Yeah, but
Jordan.
you know, Chance the Rapper was out there kind of bad a couple of days ago
That's
with
true.
his endorsements of a certain person.
Yeah.
Hey, we're strictly talking music, right? So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's why we're not throwing everything out there. So
You know, Serge, that's that hate in his blood, though. You can't stop it.
Yeah. I just love Chance because the way he puts together an album. Like, his first album that he released was just amazing. Like, it flows so nicely. And a lot of people put a lot of filler songs in there. He didn't have any fillers. It all went straight through, and you can listen to every last song and love it.
Yeah.
All right, so Jordan, give us your favorite sports teams.
Favorite sports team? So, DFW guy, born and raised. So it's
Oh, so
all
are you
Dallas.
in Dallas now?
No. So I actually
Okay.
moved to Abilene a couple years ago. My wife,
Okay.
she's in nurse school here. We've been here for a little bit. Hopefully coming back to the DFW pretty soon. But yeah, I'm Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Cowboys. Don't really watch too much hockey. But if the Stars are in it, I'll watch it. And Texas Rangers guy. I went to baseball games all the time growing up as a kid. So definitely my top teams. I do have some love for some other guys. Like I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. So I watched the Patriots growing up. I'm going to watch the Bucks this year. Big Patrick Mahomes fan, so I'll cheer for the Chiefs if they're not playing the Cowboys, and then a Russell Wilson guy. So of course I'll watch the Seahawks as well.
What about college football?
Well, the fact that you're a Cowboys fan, that's you all right with me.
There we go. Yeah. So for college football, so I went to UNT. So I support them to the extent that I know they'll never play for a national championship. So I have them I'll watch them every week and love cheering them on. But when it comes to like the big time programs, I grew up a Texas guy. So I used to watch UT all the time. But ever since Mac Brown left, it's been hard to get into them because they just haven't been good. So I've kind of switched over to the Alabama bandwagon. And yeah, I'm Roll Tide, baby. Yeah, I'm Roll Tide.
Okay. B. Jones.
Wow.
Y'all got 2 minutes. Just go with it. Come on.
Well, and this is my thing. He can't get it all right. He's going to eventually be wrong at something. But
Yeah.
I'm more disappointed on the fact of you, Kevin, for not vetting this out thoroughly. Because there is no reason why we should have Alabama fans as guests on this show. Hey, but I'll tell you what though, Jordan, we got a surprise for you. Hopefully this will release after we do our show on Wednesday night. But two of our we do a segment called Local Life, and the Local Life this week is actually going to be given to two offensive linemen, Tommy Brockenmeyer. I don't know if you've heard of these guys, but he's ranked like number 7 or 8 in the nation as an offensive tackle, and his brother James is actually ranked like number 140 as an offensive center. So Alabama just picked up 2 huge commitments from some local kids. So
nice.
It ain't nothing gonna change over there with Alabama, man. Y'all gonna keep doing y'all thing. Y'all just gonna have to get that head cracked by LSU. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Hey, I'm just saying Alabama's owned LSU every year, but this last one, and
you know what?
I see it coming back this year.
I ain't worried about my exes, man. I'm worried about the one I'm with right now. And right now, we wearing that crown.
Okay.
Give me a ring on our finger.
That's fair. That's fair respect. LSU put on a great season this year. I love what they did. I don't think y'all are gonna repeat this year. I think a lot of it had to do with Joe Brady. But
hey, I got something for you. How about we do this? How about we do this, Jordan? If they play in the spring, if they play in the fall, then right before Christmas, like right before they go to bowl season, we're gonna bring you back on. Okay. And hopefully we'll be able to have a conversation and we'll be able to reference this. Because I'm right now telling you that y'all hear it right now from my lips, America, the mouth of the South. I'm going out on the limb. Hey, 13-0 again.
Oh, shut the hell up. Y'all not going no 13-0. Stop.
Hey,
Joe Burrow is not walking through that door.
And we got some just as nice as Joe Burrow. I'm telling y'all, Coach Joe is not playing. His name is Miles Brennan.
Okay.
Broke all kind of records in Mississippi when broke all of Brett Favre records. I promise y'all, just sit tight. Just sit tight. My Bayou Bengals got something brewing. We're gonna bubble up again on y'all.
I mean, you're gonna have a lot of help. Jamar Chase is nice, I'll tell you that.
Number 1 wide receiver in the nation. And we got other dogs. Yeah. We got other. We'll talk about this show right now is about you, so I'm not gonna talk LSU the whole time. So
we can't tell.
Speaking of talking about your show, so you are the co-founder of Gamebreaksports.
Yeah.
So just kind of give us a little, and our listeners a tip about how you got started and what your show is about.
Okay, so we started out here a couple months ago. Really, I love talking sports. I've done it my entire life. Most of it stems from me and my brother having arguments growing up, then just stemmed to me and my friends having arguments over drinks and stuff. And so that's really kind of the whole premise of Gamebreaksports. We wanted to pay homage to the bar talk that you have. So when you're hanging out with a group of guys and you're talking about what's on TV, all the sports that have happened like recently, it's never really like one true topic that you're like focused on. It's a little bit of basketball, it's a little bit of football. You're talking all-time greats. You just have those conversations and it never really ends. So that's a lot of what we do on our show. With our articles that we post on our website, that's really what it's about. We just kind of stay along that line of, when you go out and hang out with your friends, what are y'all talking about?
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I'm not aware of who. I started digging what you guys was doing through social media. So I don't know if you followed us first or we followed you. But I tell you what, I had the opportunity to just kind of unpack a few of your posts and some of your social media content. And I'm curious, man, tell the SLT Nation what, in a world of podcasts where everybody wants to talk sports, what are you guys at Game Break doing different? What's special about the chemistry, and what's special about the cohesion of what you guys have brought together?
So I say first, we feed into the bias. Like we're very open about that on our show, on our website. If you listen to our show this week, I'm going to be on a very long rant about Dak Prescott's contract, which we can talk about later, and how frustrated I am with that. But just everything we do is all about, because you think about when you have conversations with your friends, you're not trying to be the unbiased opinion at that table. No, you are trying to make sure that your point is the one that's right, and you're going to argue it to the death. And that's really what we do there. And I feel like that's what makes it unique, because you don't get that fake stuff that you get on ESPN, that you get on some other podcast. It's just true, this is what I feel and this is why I feel it. And if you agree, great. If you don't, then okay. But I'm still going to stay with my opinion. And I think the other thing that really just makes us different is that we're all friends. So my brother's on the show. My real life brother. And then everybody else friends from college. We've known each other for years. All of us been, I think, about 6, 7, 8 years that we've known each other. And a lot of it is just, we're just taking what we have conversations with before we even get onto the show or in the past. And that's just really how it is. And nothing changes. We just put a mic in front of us now.
Well, I tell you what, man, although Serge and Kevin are like brothers to me, they try to put me off the show once every 2-3 weeks. So can I audition for y'all show one of these days, man? Sounds like y'all. I'm all about, as you can tell real quickly, I'm all about the biased conversation.
That's what we love.
Well, so on your show though, it's like 4 Cowboys fans and what, Bucks and what else?
Yeah, so we got 4 Cowboys fans. We have a Bucks fan. We have a Giants fan and a Chargers fan. Yeah.
That Giants fan, you need to just go ahead and kick them to the curb, man.
I want to.
No
I've known him for about 8 years now, and every day he's gotten on my nerves with his Giants talk. He swears Danny Dimes is the greatest quarterback ever.
I like Danny Dimes. He's not the greatest ever, but I like him.
Yeah. So I deal with a lot of that, but we love him, so he stays around.
Yeah,
let me know when y'all need to stay.
He's just a more athletic Eli. Hell, I mean, and Eli got 2 rings, and
you never know, right? You never know.
A whole lot of fumbles last year.
Yep, and we love it. NFC East.
Yep.
So with everything obviously that's been going on the last few months, obviously with the pandemic, has that in any way, shape, or form, I guess deviated what you guys normally do, or has it impacted your show in any way?
Not at all, honestly, because we actually started during the middle of this. So, okay. If anything, it's helped us to have more time, really to be available to record and, connect with other people online and stuff, because I don't think we would have had that same time if we were all deep into our work.
Agreed.
So, because I know for me personally, I've been bouncing around with the idea of starting a podcast or doing a website for the longest time, but I was just like, I don't really have the time. I got all this going on, I'm married, got family to see. It's just, it didn't seem like I would have the availability to do something like this. But ever since things kind of slowed down a little bit and you were forced to be at home, it made way for us to start doing this, which is great.
Yeah, it was kind of like a blessing in disguise for podcasts, even though we don't want to, with this kind of stuff happening, we don't want this to truly affect everything else, but just give us more time and freedom. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, and that's the way we see it, because like I said, I don't think we would have done it if it wasn't for this break in time that we had, and now we're finding a way to incorporate it into our daily lives, and we love it.
Dude, because I tell you what, I didn't realize it until we had some recent conversations lately about setting up a photo shoot. But literally, our cast of 5, I mean, we almost live 5 I mean, like it's making a star. Like Kevin lives in South Dallas, I live in Frisco, Serge lives in Addison, Pam lives right there in the middle in Plano, and then Kim, she lives all the way out like in Garland.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
so we literally make a full kind of star. So this has been kind of, like you said, a blessing in disguise for us as well, because we get the opportunity to meet more often and still be able to do what we do at a high level.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like most of us are in the DFW, with the exception of me and one of the other guys. So I'm in Abilene, another one's in Houston. So, and everybody else is from the DFW. But we all, like I said, are from the Metroplex, know the Metroplex very well. So we still see each other a lot, even when we're not doing the show. We haven't seen each other lately, but yeah, we definitely have plans in the future, hopefully, to get together and start doing this thing live, like in the same room. Yeah. That'll make it even more exciting to yell at each other face to face.
Well, so growing up in the Metroplex, I know you listed off, you rattled off all the local teams that you're fans of, and I actually caught one of your posts on social media of you and your bride and your wife rocking the Cowboys jerseys at a game. So tell me about some of the sporting events you attend, and what was the most absolute phenomenal experience you've had at a sporting event?
Man, it's kind of a tough one. I've been to a lot of great games. I would say the best one I've been to was that one from that picture. So that was the Thanksgiving game a couple years ago. If y'all remember that season, that was the year we got Amari Cooper. And we had a horrible start to the season. Second half of the season, we went on I think we went 8-1 to close out the season, something like that. And they just tore down the Redskins that game. I think Amari Cooper had 2 touchdowns, one for 90 yards. It was amazing just watching Dak light it up all over the floor. Best experience I've ever had. We were 3 rows back from the front, so we were very, very great seats right in the end zone where they were scoring all the touchdowns. It was amazing. Nothing could really beat that. I've been to some pretty exciting UNT football games. I know it doesn't sound like it's very exciting, but if you've ever been to, UNT's a big school, so there's about 40,000 students that go there, but football program's not very big, but they've been really good lately, and they have this one guy that was a quarterback for 4 years, and he was great. So a few years ago, we played SMU. We play them every year to start the season. UNT normally always gets beat by SMU. We've just started getting competitive against them. A couple years ago, they came here, and we just stomped them. It was 40-7. It was a beat down that we gave them, and we were right next to the SMU section, and a lot of it gets very chippy between the fans in that area. So it was great just watching all those kids walk away from the game upset because we were yelling at them and cussing, and it was amazing. So great experience.
Trolling them for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and school pride. Nothing beats school pride. That's what makes college football awesome, because when you went to that school and you're cheering for that school, your entire nothing beats that passion.
Yeah. See, I agree with you, because being a fan of a pro team, it's kind of like I live in a certain city, or typically somebody in your family, hey, my dad was a Browns fan, so I'm a Browns fan. You know what I mean? And that's the way. I'm from Louisiana. My family all Saints fans, so I'm a Saints guy, right? But when it comes to college football or college sports in general, it's the only where you got a choice. It's hey, I went to Texas A&M, so I'm an Aggie, and I'm supporting my Aggies, and that can't change. You can't rub off the fact that you were an Aggie. We got a lot of bandwagon people joining the Bucks and the Patriots and the Alabama Crimson Tide now, but
Hold on, wait. We throwing shots again?
I did say that I am a UNT fan because I went there. But I said because they're a small school and they never have a chance to play for a championship, I gotta have somebody to root for.
No, I'm not, man. I'm just teasing. I'm just giving you a hard time, brother.
He's messy. I'm telling you, Jordan, they're messy.
Hey, but Jordan,
are you sure you want to take him on y'all show?
I know, right?
Hey, holla at me offline, because I need to plug who got you those seats, man. Because those seats that you had were phenomenal, brother. So definitely plug us in on that.
All right, so before I ask you this next question, when
Okay.
I was in college, man, UNT was a party school, but
Oh,
now I
really?
think it's become more of a academically. Yeah, Serge, it was a
No,
party
no, no, no,
school.
no. I know it still is a party
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
school.
just well,
it's
The
still a pretty
academic
big
just went
party
up,
school.
but
Yeah.
that
okay, because I
doesn't
know I
mean
went
that
to
the party stuff
UTA and
died
we used to
down.
go to Denton on Thursdays for like
Yep,
Thirsty
yep,
Thursdays.
yep.
Mhm.
Dollar and
Oh
$2
man,
drinks.
ooh, that was a day.
Yeah.
But let me get back on track, man. Okay,
Yeah.
so we talked off air. And we
Uh-huh.
talked about football. So, Jordan, do you think that we will have a full season of football coming up?
I do. And when it comes down to it, it's all about the money. The NFL makes way too much money not to have a full season. They're gonna try their best to have some fans in the stands, whether it's 50% or 25%. They're doing something to where they get revenue in to fund this year. And you can even see it with just the way that they've been signing players, the way that they've approached the offseason. The NFL hasn't changed anything. They've been steadfast in their belief that they're going to start in September no matter what. So it's going to happen. It might not be the best thing to do, but like I said, when it comes down to losing millions and millions and millions of dollars, like they're going to roll out there with the best way that they can.
Yeah, and all it's gonna take is for Tom Brady, Drew Brees, or Patrick Mahomes.
Man,
It won't
all
matter.
three of them can go sit themselves down because they are not bigger than the machine, man. They are not
Correct.
bigger than the game in
Support,
itself.
yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something. It was not an accident, Kevin, that we all woke up on Sunday morning and you got literally every single member of the All-Pro team tweeting about these rules and helping us. And what was the hashtag? We want to play.
Yeah.
So basically, that was a stamp. That right there. I woke up and I was walking to the bathroom like I was George Jefferson because I knew that we was going to get some NFL football, baby. It was on.
Yeah.
No, and it's true. Like, and you look at the NFL. The NFL is different from every other sport. So you have years where you'll lose your top guys, and that's just normal. Like you look last year, you lost Drew Brees for 5 games. You lost Patrick Mahomes for a few games. Like these guys were out, and they were some of the biggest names, and it didn't slow down the NFL's income. Like people still tuned in every Sunday to go watch whoever was out there throwing the pass. What was it, Matt Moore with the Chiefs, and they were still winning games, and people were still watching them. It doesn't matter when it comes to NFL.
In the day and age of fantasy football, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. There's just people are just going to tune in because they want to tune in because they need to tune in. So
And it is a proven fact that the NFL does whatever the money says to do. You could go back and look at the pressure they got from Ray Rice after they had already cleared Ray Rice.
Yep.
They had said, Ray, you're gonna sit down for 2 games. Once the pressure came on, money said, hey, we can't support that. They backed out of it. You can look at how they treated Colin Kaepernick for 4 years, and then you flip it on the other side of it. Now all of a sudden everybody's free to say Black Lives Matter and free to all of this stuff, and money is to be supported by Black Lives Matter. You got the commissioner coming on there saying, oh yeah, Colin, we want Colin back. We want to play. So I can tell you right now, I'm interested to see what they do with Dan Snyder, considering that all this stuff has been released, because let's see where the money goes. Because FedEx said, hey, we can't have y'all being called the Redskins no more. Once again, showing you that once the money gets pulled out the NFL, they gonna bust a move. They gonna turn the corner.
Yeah, like they always go where the money is no matter what. It's not going to change. Unless you get into a situation where NFL players just strictly don't want to play because it risks their safety, which I haven't heard one player really stating that. It's been more so we just want to know what y'all are going to do to protect us. Once they get that, they're all going to be ready to play football this season.
Hey, you will see something like that once the NFL players can figure out a way in the agreement, the contract with the players union and stuff, to figure out a way for their contracts to be guaranteed. Right now, it's too much of their contracts not guaranteed. That's why the NBA players all look at each other and be like, hey, I signed a contract. Y'all owe me my money regardless. Y'all got to cut this check regardless. Same thing in baseball. But NFL is the only sport you get a game check on Monday night. You know, that bank clear that Monday night when you play in that game. So that's just the way it works. Yeah.
Well, the NFLPA has a lot of work to do. Like, I'm sorry, they're one of the worst, player associations out there. Like, the NBA is top of the line. They are actually a partnership with the NBA. Like, Adam Silver listens to them, and they work together to create plans for this. The NFLPA, like they just got trashed in that CBA that they just signed this year. Like that screwed over a lot of their players and gave them pretty much no leverage now when their contracts are up. So now you're in situations where players can't even really hold out anymore, or they're losing money, like all their money. Yeah,
they sold over that weed, man. They sold their soul over weed because they didn't want drug tests, and it's got to give to get, and they gave it all up so the players didn't get drug tested anymore.
I think they need to bring in somebody that's more of like an innovator, somebody that's forward thinking, because DeMaurice Smith, I mean, all the years that I've ever watched him or followed him, I just don't think that he's always for the players, or it just doesn't come off that way, or he's not listening. He's hearing them, but he's not listening and putting things to action. And where he's holding the NFL, Roger Goodell, and the owners, the feet to their fire. And I think the players just need better representation. And if you look at like the NBA, you got somebody like Chris Paul. Okay, he doesn't have to be the best player in the league, but because of the fact that he's widely respected, he's been in the game. Whether it's him being college when he was highly touted, and then coming obviously into the NBA, going through a situation where he was involved in the trade and then that got pulled back. So he's been through the nuts and bolts of it to really know like what really it takes. And I think he understands, okay, younger guys who are coming up, hey, this is what you can look forward to. And I just think that NFL, they just don't really have all the things in place that they need to. Now they've gotten better because I think they see the NBA doing things and they're trying to implement and really copycat it. But because the sport is so different and the structures, the contracts and stuff like that are so different, it's hard to do it that way.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of it comes from the players as well, like the top guys in the league. Because if you look at the NBA, like they fought to get to where they are with their relationship with the NBA, because those players they were okay going through the lockout season. They were okay having their star athletes speak up, and those star athletes were actively leading like these causes. You don't see that in the NFL. It's starting to happen now, but let's look back 10 years ago. You weren't seeing guys like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, all these guys speaking out on the issues that they want to see done, because at the end of the day, they got their money. They're going to get their money. And when you have the quarterbacks are the only guys that really have the best deals for them, they're not necessarily worrying about the interests of the other players. And in the NBA, it's a little bit different. Like, we're taking care of everybody. Like, I'm going to get my money, you're going to get your money too. And so I don't know. Until we get that, I don't know if we'll ever get to that place.
I am very impressed with you, Jordan. You have definitely you a man right now. But I'm gonna tell you this: the reason being, and this is just my own personal opinion, and the reason I'm saying this because I had a conversation with a friend of mine. We were talking about the Mad 99 ratings, and he was like, what's funny is, out of the people that are announced, they could walk into the mall and probably 70 to 80% of the people won't even recognize a Michael Thomas or Stephon Gilmore. Maybe because Aaron Donald did some Pizza Hut stuff, they might get him, but majority of those people aren't even recognizable faces, and it all comes down to the helmet. And the reason the NBA players to speak out is because LeBron is a player, but he also is a brand. When you see LeBron's image, the headband was all over. You get to see what he looks like. You can relate to him, and not only just here in America, overseas, they get to see what LeBron looks like. These people overseas, they may know the Patriots. I think they said that the Super Bowl is the most watched event, period. No matter what you do, the Super Bowl is watched in every single country just about in the world, but they couldn't probably pick out half of those players. I mean, probably 90% of those players, if they walked in their living room, wouldn't even know who they were.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think that's changing, though, because you look at guys like Dak Prescott, you look at Patrick Mahomes, you look at some of these other huge faces, they're more than just, wearing the helmet now. Now they're out there doing different things. Whether it's in their community, it's building their brand. Like, they're like,
it's all about
Patrick Mahomes. Like, people knock him for not taking, everything the Chiefs had and, going and basically indebting the franchise forever. I mean, he still got $500 million. That's a whole lot of money to get over the lifespan of a contract. But like, he knows that he's going to make so much more money outside of just playing football. So he's set up no matter what. Like, you look at Dak Prescott, and a lot of people give him a lot of crap for not just signing that contract. he knows that no matter what helmet he wears these days, I can go out and play for any team and make a ton of money, and then I can still make endorsements on top of that and be big. Like LeBron James, he makes more money from his endorsements alone than he does from his NBA contract. Why do you think he doesn't care to sign, long-term deals that hampers him from going out and winning more championships or being around more competitive rosters? Because he knows that he's a brand and he can go and get that. And I think NFL players are starting to see that and starting to kind of adapt to that.
It's all about two words, man. Experiential compensation. And Serge probably the only person that know what that means. And that's talking about the situation you're in and what you can gain from just being in the right place at the right time. Patrick Mahomes is in a situation to where he can take a $250 million pay cut because that situation was carved out specifically for Patrick Mahomes and the style that he plays. And Dak Prescott has some head in the game right here in Dallas. He came here, he won the spot. He has the locker room on. That's what we're talking about. Experiential compensation that you can't put a tag on. But since we're talking about that contract, you said you were going to go on a rant on it. Now, from my understanding, and you sound like you're a man right now. So tell me why, because it sounds like the Cowboys just want Dak to take a 5 or 6 year deal. Dak is wanting to take a 3 or 4. They're not meeting on the length of the contract. So you tell me what is going on with that contract.
So it comes down to length and guarantee. So that's really what a contract is, because that's what you're really paying for. And basically what Dak is saying is you're wanting me to play for you for another 5 to 6 years, but you're only willing to give me what Carson Wentz and Jared Goff got in guarantee, which is about 110. They got 110 for a 4-year extension. So really they got 4 years, 110, not counting any of the extra stuff that they got on top of that. So that's their deal. So if I'm Dak Prescott, it's either 4 years for 110, like guaranteed, or we're talking 5 years for 130, 140, or 6 years for 150, 160. If they're not willing to pull that trigger, then I don't really want to hear it. And I don't have to sign because I'm getting 31 million this year. You're gonna franchise me next year, and I'm gonna get 37. And then after 38, that, so, and then after that, I'm gonna be on the open market to get whatever I want. He wants to be in Dallas. He's made that very clear. Everything that he does shows that he wants to be here. But he's also going to make sure that he gets paid top money, which is fair because he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. And regardless of what people think he's worth, he's getting what he's earned based on the market. Because no matter what metric you look at, he's one of the best quarterbacks we have in the NFL, and you pay the best guys because you're better off with him than you are without him. So the Cowboys waited too late to sign him. They should have went ahead and signed him last year for the same deal that they offered him this year. And now he has way too many weapons to even be bad because I just don't see a season where he's bad. Worst case scenario, he gets hurt and he still gets the franchise tag next year because you don't let him go. So it's a win-win for Dak. Like I said, the only way that this doesn't work out for Dak Prescott is if he has a career-ending injury, which we don't wish that on anybody. But even if that happened, he'd still get $31 million, and I'm sure he'd still be fine. So.
You sound like Serge now, man. Talking about Serge was on that contract thing big a year ago. Serge was preaching. Sign him now. Sign him now.
Yeah, waiting too long. And I don't even like saying Cowboys. I just like saying call it like it is. It's Jerry Jones. I mean, it's at the end of the day, you're the one who came out, a couple of years ago and said we're going to take care of him. We're going to take care of him. And I don't know what you were waiting for. I mean, you could have signed him even before Carson Wentz and Jared Goff got paid, or right after, or last year when Zeke got paid. Take care of Dak then. And it's just you're kind of holding out hope. Okay, it's either he's gonna do really, really well, where I'll pay him, meaning he's gonna take us deep into the playoffs or maybe a Super Bowl appearance, or he's just gonna so far fall off the wagon that we don't have to pay him, and our fans will understand. But he's kind of right in the middle, probably closer to the top, and and Jerry just doesn't want to do it, which I'm still just flabbergasted that they just aren't willing to pay what I believe not only he's going to be worth going forward, but also the compensation that he should have been getting for the 4 years prior to. You should be taking care of him and split the money over the previous 4 years, not just, going forward.
Yeah.
And they should be taking care of him, but they're looking at it, hey, we got a gem in the 4th round. So that's what they're looking at, the 4th round Dak. And like I told y'all last year, what did I say? It was 2 throws that cost him money. That one to was it Cobb in the end zone against the Saints, and we missed a wide open Tavon Austin in Philly.
You know what, Kev? I'm not giving you a
know.
pass on that though, man. Because
I'm not either.
Because this is the truth of the matter. Is we could take out the elites. Let's just take out 1 through 7, which we're going to call those the elites, right? The Rodgers, the Bradys, the Brees. There's a handful of people that are irreplaceable. After that, I put Dak right there at number 8 or 9, and you can't name me a quarterback that can come in and play better than Dak. There's no other alternative for the Cowboys. But like you should have been on the front side. I don't care if he missed that throw 3 times.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, if you look at passes like that, that's all I'm saying. I'm not arguing with you. I get it. Dak deserves to get. I want everybody to get their money, but come on, man.
But
Jerry's
I think the thing is, like, when you say that, it's like you're making the argument as if you're Jerry Jones' shoes.
Yeah.
My thing is, well, if for 8 games when you play on the road and you don't show up for most of them, and then you still go out and pay Amari Cooper top dollar money like that, I mean, I can't really defend. Okay, that's fine if you want to take care of, but take care of me too is the way that I will look at it. And you've taken care of everybody else. Even if it came down to the last minute, you take care of Zeke because he's in Cabo and whatever. Right before the season started, you made sure to take care of him. Even when Tony Romo was here, you took care of him. It's not like he led you to any Super Bowl or anything like that. So it's so many times over and over again, the people that you want to take care of, you take care of. But for whatever reason, Dak just doesn't, fit that mold, which I don't understand why.
Because Jerry's telling you,
on top of that, Serge, you've done it again with you made Lael Collins, you paid him. You went and paid Zach Martin 2 years ago. I mean, you consistently are paying the people that matter to you. I 100% agree with you, Serge.
Yeah.
So that's my point. He missed throws, and Jerry's like, I can't pay a man all this money who can't be accurate. Now, listen, I want Dak to get his money.
All right, y'all mess around and have Kirk Cousins, and I don't want to hear no crying.
No. Andy Dalton.
That's what I'm saying. Like I won't even be mad if Dak leaves at this point because they should have paid him his money last year, and they definitely should have paid it this year. But at the end of the day, like the Cowboys knew what they were getting into coming this offseason. They knew they were going to have to make him the highest paid. In their mind, they think that they're doing that, but when you look at the details of their contract they put out, it's crap, like compared to what he should be getting this year. And I think that's going to be a hiccup with a lot of new contracts coming out if they continue to wait to get some of these QBs paid, because you're in a situation where they're looking at some of these deals and they're trying not to continue to reset the market, but it's just going to go up no matter what. And these players know that it's going to go up. And guys like Dak and their agents are smart to know that, okay, we know the money that y'all got coming in, and I'm going to give me a piece of that too. And so unless you're going to give me something like Patrick Mahomes where you set me up for life in this one contract, we about to
you know that ain't happening because he is nowhere near Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
But here's a scenario for you. So let's say the Cowboys do well this year and they make it to an NFC Championship game and Dak wins MVP, which is a very real possibility given the weapons that he has on the offensive end, because they have probably the best offense in the NFL this year. That's just with all the weapons they have. Blake Jarwin is going to be a killer tight end this year. They still have a strong offensive line. Like, they are set up to have a great season, and they are going to be very pass happy in the DFW. So when you have all those weapons, let's say they make it to NFC Championship and Dak wins MVP, I'm not taking a cent less than $40 million if I'm him.
See, now Dak has
hold on.
chips.
To add on the caveat to that, because I know we're about to wrap it up here, Jordan, but to add on to that is we really need to see where this new Lamar Jackson contract goes. And the most important one to Dak is going to be Deshaun Watson. Because Deshaun Watson doesn't have as much skin in the game or as much teeth in the game as what Dak has done as far as proving themselves on the field, right? Now, I will say that to me, Deshaun Watson is more important to Houston because, like you just said, Dakota got weapons everywhere. Watson don't have the same weapons. But at the end of the day, let's see what Watson get, because I know he's in the same boat asking for 3 or even a 4-year contract, and he doesn't want to go long term. That's why, like you said, Patrick Mahomes gave the NFL a deal, not just the Kansas City Chiefs, but the NFL a deal with the contract he took.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but I'm one of the guys that say Patrick Mahomes actually like got the better end of that deal when it comes to the Chiefs, because the way it's set up is his contract's guaranteed like a year in advance. So if the Chiefs want to cut him, he's getting like $40-50 million, like right off of that. Like, and he can get to go sign another contract with another team for like probably like $20-something million on top of that. So he's set up for life. Like, worst case scenario, he's bad, and in 3 years the Chiefs want to get rid of him. He made like $250 million already, which is more than anybody's ever made in the league. So he's gonna walk out very happy when it's all said and done.
But the one smart thing that he did, though, his contract is set up where he can still have weapons around him.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of flexibility, especially early on.
Kudos to him for that.
All right, so Jordan, why don't you tell our listeners where they can find you, man?
So you can find me personally at Jordan Wesley 93 on Instagram, Twitter. You can follow at Gamebreaksports. Check out our page. Go to Gamebreaksports.com. We release shows weekly. We talk about everything when it comes down to sports. We'd love to have y'all tune in.
Sounds good.
All right. So we want to thank Jordan for joining us and becoming an official member of the SLT Nation and family. We want to thank you for listening to another episode of Sports Like Talk, where life without sports is just. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe to Sports Like Talk on all our social media platforms. And remember to tell a friend to check us out.
Yeet!